Oh, my gosh. Oh, it just came to me. I just had an epiphany. I am going to do a live stream tomorrow on the War Room Facebook page around noon. So just be tuned in to that. I'll do a little bit of a teaser. The epiphany I just had was, I think I'm going to print out about 50 of these stories right here from the New York Times. Cash flowed to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. And I think I'm going to go to the Texas State Capitol, and I think I'm going to say, I found the Russian collusion. I found the Russian collusion. And I'm just going to hand out the New York Times story from April 22nd, 2015, documenting all the Russian collusion of Vladimir Putin wanting to become the #1 holder of enriched uranium, and Hillary Clinton and the Democrats with Mueller and Rosenstein making that dream for Putin come true. So I think maybe I'll do that tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that live stream tomorrow around 11:30 or noon. Whenever I can fire it up from the state capitol building here in Austin, Texas, which, I think I've decided, really, I just need to do more of these videos until they just totally ban me off social media, because they do seem to go the most viral. But Roger, my co-host, Roger Stone, wants to talk about this story, how the Clinton machine flooded the FBI with Trump-Russia dirt until agents bit. So, yeah, Roger, it's like I can highlight the Russian collusion with Clinton doing the uranium deal, but we can go more recent than that. In 2016, Hillary Clinton paid to get intelligence from Russian intelligence officers. That's just a fact. That's how the dossier came to be. It's all documented. So, I mean, which Russian collusion do we talk about? The Uranium One deal or the dossier deal? Roger, or does any of it even matter? In fact, Roger, here's what we should report on. Roger Stone has been colluding with Barney the dinosaur to take down Sesame Street as the #1 child's program on PBS. That's the story now, Roger. I don't need any proof. I'm just going to make it up.
Well, Owen, I want to bring people's attention to this terrific new story by John Solomon of The Hill. Solomon has now documented that the FBI was literally being flooded with various Clinton associates at all levels, trying to get them interested in the phony dossier. And as the election year went on, the contacts of the Clintonites rose to a higher and higher level until the FBI ultimately bit. Now, we also know that a senior partner at Coy Perkins, the Democratic law firm that Hillary Clinton paid for the formulation and fabrication of the phony dossier, for which they retained Christopher Steele, was in direct contact with the FBI general counsel and others to try to move this false narrative. The importance, of course, is that the underlying document, the so-called phony dossier, which was fed to Mike Isikoff of Yahoo, a shill for the FBI, who then wrote the story as if the dossier were real without ever reporting on its origins and its partisan beginning. And then that story was shown to the FISA judge as a rationale for the illegal surveillance of Donald Trump's campaign. I have reason to believe that this surveillance not only went beyond Carter Page, but that it included yours truly. The New York Times reported that on page 1 on January 20th, 2017. My lawyers have researched it thoroughly. We are convinced the story is accurate. The probable cause and the reason that I was spied on in 2016, long before Mr. Mueller's probe had begun, before there were any congressional investigations, really even before Hillary Clinton began this Russophobia campaign to distract from her own campaign's tight connections with Vladimir Putin. As Alex Jones has revealed here on InfoWars, Hillary Clinton met several times privately with Vladimir Putin as Secretary of State prior to becoming a candidate. We don't have any transcript. There are no interpreters coming forward to tell us what was discussed in that meeting. We know that Barack Obama was caught in a hot mic saying that after his re-election, he'd have greater flexibility for his dealings with Russia. But what's really driving the left crazy now is that you have a new chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And in a story in The Hill, Lindsey Graham has signaled his intention to have the committee investigate Hillary Clinton's email scandal, the illegal FISA warrants, presumably that would include the origins of the Steele dossier, and the Democrats on the committee have gone out of their minds. Dick Durbin, Sheldon Whitehouse, Dianne Feinstein, trying to argue that this is all new. So in other words, what Hillary Clinton did in 2016, that's off limits. We can't examine that. But what Donald Trump did in 2016, that should be the focus of the Congress's investigation. Sheldon Whitehouse even said, jocularly as a joke, well, maybe we should investigate Benghazi again. You know what, Senator? That's a really good idea, because we still don't know what really happened in Benghazi. And no one in their right mind believes the attack on our compound there was caused by an anti-Islamic video that was shown once in Turkey, a country that is largely not wired for the net. That's a cover story. We do know in the Clinton email controversy that it was questioned, not under oath, and that it was actually minutes. She was not put under any kind of vigorous cross-examination, and that her two top aides were given immunity and their laptops were destroyed. So I think there's plenty of probable cause for a real vigorous congressional investigation. And while I like Chuck Grassley, I think he's a great man, I do think that in a former prosecutor, a former military prosecutor in Lindsey Graham, you'll have a new aggressiveness on the part of the members of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And the Democrats now, Owen, are whistling past the graveyard. This is their worst fear. We didn't get the kind of investigation into the FISA warrants that we needed under the House Republicans, because it led to Donald Trump, and he has to date still not unredacted, still not declassified, the documents that I'm convinced will lay their entire plot to hijack the 2016 election at the direction of Barack Obama, right to the former president's door. What did Obama know, and when did he know it? It's a fair question. And we have a number, including James Clapper, his own director of intelligence, has said on CNN, this was all done at the behest of Obama. The American people need to know this. So kudos to Lindsey Graham. I've been critical of the senator of South Carolina in the past when he was the Sancho Panza for John McCain, but he stood tall in the Kavanaugh matter, and he is standing tall in this matter, Owen.
Well, and Roger, let's not forget, because the media hoax that the mainstream media pulled over America, or attempted to pull over America with the Covington Catholic story, that distracted from the huge news that broke Friday, which wasn't news at all. It ended up being fake news, that BuzzFeed reported that Trump ordered Michael Cohen to lie. Robert Mueller came out and said that was not true and debunked the BuzzFeed story, and the Covington Catholic school story just erased that off the market.
This is a solution for you and your family. This is something guaranteed, like oxygen and water, to sustain life. There are a bunch of bad halogens. There is one good halogen in the body, and it's pure atomic iodine. Most forms are bound so you don't absorb them, but even microscopic amounts of the broken down type are better than nothing, because your body recognizes it and takes it on and tries to use it instead of bromine, chloride, fluorine, and the other bad ones. And there's a lot of things better than just wealth in this world. How about physical wealth? When I forget to take my iodine, I'm an idiot. We have X2. It's selling out because a company tried to put me over the barrel from the oil well company that drills to get it to 12,000 feet. We ended up finding an even better company. Their chemist said, you can put this in the way you have it, but you should add a little bit of vitamin C to stabilize it so it doesn't oxidize, and this other form of iodine, and the other form, all three, so that it's better absorbable. That's X3. We have a limited supply of X2. It's our final run. But here are the headlines. How adding iodine to salt boosted American IQ. That's Discovery Magazine, ladies and gentlemen. And then we've got the New York Times. Now, again, this is from 12 years ago. In Raising the World's IQ, the secret is salt. But it's not. It says right here, adding ionized iodine to the salt. Boosted IQ 10 to 20 points, increased fertility. They put it in the water the kids are given at school in China. Why do I say that? Because in the 20s, we had major reproductive problems, major deformities, major retardation, major IQ reduction, not on the coastal areas where people got fresh fish that had some iodine in it, but in the Midwest. You fund us and you get atomic iodine with the other two types of iodine, so it's fully absorbable. That's why we have Survival Shield X3. I can keep selling X2 till the cows come home, and it's there. But this is the best. X3, InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com, or 888-253-3139.